Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. Hope you've all been decent. Hope you've all been keeping well. Today I'm just bringing you another video based on a top-down approach from a trade I took last week on US dollar Swiss franc. Ended up being really clean. Super happy with it. So yeah, if we just get into it, starting on the daily time frame, we've had huge bearish momentum. I mean, of course, some beautiful sells here recently. But if we look at July, we've kind of had an accumulation model play out here, which has been really nice. So as you can see here, price stopped, pushed up, and then this candle here is really important. So for me, I love liquidations, and we took this low out and ended up having some really nice volume come in. And then again, we just kept pushing up. And then if you look in here, we had another reaccumulation model play out. And again, what do we see? We see beautiful liquidity building up here and a pin bar, or whatever you would like to call this candle. Again, so we took out this low, and then if we just drop down to the 4 hour, like so, great, much more clear. So as you can see here, we've pushed into price like so, beautifully, and then we've started taking out some lows like so, and then we take out some highs, and then we took out another low. So most people here would think, okay, we've had two breaks downward, now it's time to sell. Whereas if you look at this as a reaccumulation model, the next target isn't to do this, but is actually to come and take out this high. So if we break it down, so if we break this down from how I looked at it, so we took this low on the 4 hour, and usually I love to confirm in the wicks. So if we pop back to the daily time frame, as you can see here, this overall wick equates to the last unmitigated zone. This entire wick here is a unmitigated area. So if I make this grey a little more clear, like so. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so back to the 4 hour. Everything here is valid for buys, right? So if I get rid of this box, just to make it a bit more clear. And again, what do we see? We see, let me just get rid of all of this, like so. Again, we see the exact same thing occurring. We see a build-up of liquidity, like so, a huge manipulation push downward, and then a close above. For me, this is the last liquidation point. So this right here is a strong low, a very strong protected low. Again, this is the swing low, so ideally price is still more than valid to come over here and then go back up. However, I was happy to look at this just because of the strong momentum to the upside and the overall schematic. So again, if we do the exact same thing, let's draw out the last unmitigated area and drop to the 15-minute. Again, what do we see? We see accumulation model. Again, it's fractal. So if you can just visualize where we are in price, again, we are in the 4 hour wick. So let's just get rid of this. And again, what do we see? We see a liquidation. We see a liquidation of a low. Again, this is the wick on the 4 hour. But where does this wick come into? Well, it comes into this area here. Beautiful support. So you could draw out like this, the last down move before the up move, like so. Price then pushes up, like so. And again, this is super clear as an accumulation model. We've had a manipulation to the downside, and then we've come up, taken some highs, and then most people here would go, right, we need to sell. However, if you look at the overall high time frame momentum, that wick was a very strong impulse. So again, we are trying to confirm this wick. But just looking a bit closer, what else do we see? We see an area of imbalance, like so. And I love to trade in balances. I actually prefer them to order blocks, just because the market is trying to create efficiency. So when there's areas of imbalance, price usually just it's like a magnet basically. Price just is pulled towards it. So again, let's drop down to the 1 minute time frame. Oh, forgive me, the 5 minute time frame. So here again, on the 5 minute time frame, again, if you just visualize where we are, again, we're in the 4-hour wick and we've had our accumulation model play out. So now it's time to confirm. So again, we are in the 15-minute imbalance, and it's exactly the same thing. We have a liquidation of a low, or sorry, forgive me, a engineered liquidity. You can call this a double bottom. For me, it's just liquidity in the form of a double bottom. So my actual entry time frame was the 1 minute, like so. There you go. And again, it's exactly the same thing playing out. It's all fractal. So if you approach every trade from a top-down perspective, the likelihood of you catching a swing trade off of the 1 minute is very likely, very, very likely. So again, exactly the same principles. Price creates liquidity, comes into our zone. It now sweeps the low, takes the high, and then what are we trying to do? We are trying to buy from this area here. Ideally, this area. So let's get rid of that, because this is the true last down move before the up move. So again, I market entered this trade. I usually market enter. 99% of my trades are market entered. There's nothing wrong with buy stops, nothing wrong with market orders. Just for me, I like to be aggressive. When I see something I like, I just commit. So again, yeah, the reason my entry is here is because of spread. It is what it is. Can't do much about that. And then just put your stop loss accordingly, just below the low, because again, it's fractal. So this is exactly the same thing that's happening on the 15-minute and the 4-hour. This is now your protected low over here. This is your protected low. So yeah, valid stop loss underneath there. And then price is delivered to the upside. And again, if you've not seen my previous videos, definitely check it out. Maybe if you can take some gems away from there. But my risk management, I do not set to break even. Usually people, or myself, how I used to trade, I would set to break even as soon as this high is taken, or you take a break even partial. However, for me, I just let my edge play out. Just let it play out, because as you can see here, had some beautiful profits in here. Ended up playing with my psychology a little bit here, but that's the thing about having an edge. It doesn't matter too much, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row really doesn't mean anything if you're catching 10, 20 R in a week. So again, just let your edge play out. As you can see here, roll over and just some manipulation. But again, this just goes to show how strong this low is. The big banks do not want to be in drawdown, so they're going to protect themselves. Again, so if you just jump to the 15-minute, and again with the targets, it's the pivot points. So this is a 4-hour high, and again we've entered off the 1 minute time frame here, and we've caught a swing trade, which is beautiful. But again, you could target overall imbalances above here. However, there's no need to be greedy, because as I will show you in a minute, this is the good thing about having an edge. You have to know when to get in, and you have to know when to get out. Getting out is very important, because as I will show you here, price does its thing, and then eventually we get stopped out. Whereas if we'd been greedy, we would have potentially just lost out on 13 hour. And again, this strategy is super simple. All it is just a top-down approach. You're doing the exact same thing from the 4-hour all the way down to the 1 minute. You just have to know how to compartmentalize the actual structure of the market. And I am currently working on a video to go through how to do that. So yeah, stay tuned. But yeah, overall, really happy with this trade. I will post the proof of trade in the top left corner, as usual. But yeah, it's super simple. Anyone can do this. My Discord mates constantly do this. There's absolute killers in that group. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, 10R is super simple when you know how to approach the market from a fundamental structure point. If you know how to follow structure and you know where the trend is, it will just come to you. But yeah, that's it for me today. Cheers for watching, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, peace out, guys.